Hi, guys. It's Marianne from The Weight of Time and also the Frugal Chef. Thanks for being here with me. I want to talk about ego today, about how most of the problems that we have in our lives, the arguments, the jealousies, the grudges, even the stresses that we carry, are mostly ego. And ego is so sneaky, how it creeps in. And sometimes we don't even realize that it is running the show. The good news is, if we could stop and think and realize that it's our ego that is creating the problem, we can actually correct the way we think. Ego is not the same as confidence. Confidence is, I know I can do this and I will. Ego is, "Ooh, I want everybody to see what I'm doing and to acknowledge it." It's about attaching your identity to every little small thing in your life. Things like getting really, really upset when you're interrupted or not getting the proper acknowledgement for something you've done. Sometimes we can't stand the idea of being wrong. All of those things are ego because ego feeds on recognition. It hates to be ignored. Think about those arguments you have with your spouse, your family, your friends. Most of the time, it's not about the dishes. It's not about a missed schedule. It's more about who gets the last word, who is right and who is not. It's about who refuses to apologize first. We have this little voice in our head. If you apologize first, you lost. So we hold on. We hold on to that grudge or that whatever it is that is actually really infecting us and that feeling and energy so bad for us, but we hold on to it because we are first. Our ego does not want to be bruised. But when we realize that it's our ego that's in the way and we remove it, then we can actually solve the issues. We can communicate. We can talk to each other. So what if you have to be the first one to apologize? So you do. And then, hey, I'm sorry about whatever happened. Let's talk about it. And if you can help yourself and put your ego aside, then you're making progress because all of a sudden that big problem that was eating you up is resolved. You've talked about it, you've come to a conclusion. All right, no big deal. Think about your career. Ego is always moving the finish line. We're always after that big title, after that big promotion, after that big recognition. Ambition is great. There's nothing wrong with ambition. But if you are going to let your ego, run the gambit there, you are never going to be happy. You're never going to reach the goal that you think you want because you're always moving that goalpost and it's your ego. It's your ego telling you this is not enough. Oh, no, no, they did better than you. It's your ego comparing you with, other people's achievements. And you can never, ever just be happy with your achievements. When you remove ego, from all of this equation, you can start doing work that matters, that fulfills you. It's not about showing off anymore and about, competition. It's about doing things that are worthwhile. Ego doesn't stop at work and relationships. Of course, it sneaks into our daily lives. Now with social media, oh la la, it's the worst. We post something, we want everybody to clap and tell us, oh, geez, how beautiful we are, or to desire our life. And, we get depressed when nobody's noticing us because why not? It's me, the wonderful me. It seeps into kindness. We do something kind, but we want people to recognize us for it. We don't do anonymous kindness. We do kindness and we want people to praise us for it. It seeps into resentment because, we do something and then we don't get a thank you or gratitude. That's all our ego. And, I recently just went through that. Oh, not so recently, but yeah, I had a time where I really helped a friend and I went out of my way and I never got a thank you. And it really, really upset me for a long time. Not, it wasn't that long ago and I'm not upset about it anymore because I recognize that. So what? It's just my ego wanting praises. I didn't get the praises, but instead of focusing on that, if I focus on, well, I did my best, I helped, and if it worked, that's great. If it didn't, I'm sorry, but I did my best. Instead of, I didn't get a thank you. This ungratefulness is not okay. Blah blah blah, eating me up. Feels better. It feels better to change the conversation. So how do we live our lives without letting ego run them? It's possible. It's not easy. It takes a little bit of discipline, I think. And I think ego is such a human thing. We all have that id. We all love ourselves. We all need that. But when it's running our life, then we can turn into bitter, narcissistic people. And that's not nice. You don't feel good about yourself when you're going through things like that. So first, awareness. Start catching yourself. Are you feeling defensive? Are you feeling that you need validation? Are you feeling jealous because other people are doing things that you wanted to do and haven't yet? Notice your feelings. Think about it. Just noticing them and going, oh, wait a minute, that's okay. I'm here because of all the stuff I've done, or I don't need validation for this. And everything is great. Um, or why am I so defensive right now? Why am I arguing something because I have to be right? I think once we're aware of that, it's easier to stop. It's like, okay, I don't need to do this. It's all cool. The challenge is in accepting that and being aware of it. That's the hard part. Humility is also part of controlling that ego. Practice saying, I don't know, or you're right, I'm wrong. That's a hard one for us women. you know, you hear men all the time. Oh, wait, she said she was wrong. Oh, let me write it down on my agenda with a date. But you know what? You start practicing hey, you're right. You're right. I was wrong. And life just gets easier because it's not a battle anymore. And, and yes, sometimes, once in a while we are wrong. Humility is not a weakness. It's a strength without ego. Learn how to detach. Do things because you want to, not because you want to be acknowledged. Help somebody because you want to help them, but not because you want all the gratitude and all the accolades because you did it. See, that's what I was just talking about that I went through not too long ago. Ego just infects you. So recognize that and detach. It is great to do kind things just because you want to do kind things without having all the applause. It feels very, very good. Another way is to have some perspective. Ego is always telling us that we are the center of the universe. It's all about us. And we're really not the center of the universe. We're just a tiny speck of the puzzle, of the wholeness. Ego will always whisper, oh, make this about you. But the truth is, if we don't listen to that, life is a lot more peaceful. It's lighter, it's easier. You're going to feel freer if you don't let that little voice in your head take over. The more we step away from ego, the more space we have for love and for kindness and for real joy. It's really not about ego, it's about living. I really appreciate you being here. If this is a message the rest of you and you could share it, I would really appreciate that as well. Subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. I'm going to see you next time. Thank you.